Jo's sister Kim Leadbeater joins us now. Welcome, Kim.
Hello.
We're going to talk about a documentary that you've done tonight that'll be on ITV, Angry Britain Beyond Repair. But first, you know, we're very, very conscious that for you, I mean, it's 3 years this weekend, and you were so close with Jo, weren't you? I mean, it's...
Yeah, we were really, really close, best friends, I would say. And yeah, 3 years on Sundays when my life changed forever. And I still haven't processed that. I don't think I ever will. But what I'm determined to do is to try and make a difference in whatever way I can. You know, we've ended up in this situation for the worst possible reasons, but I think we have to try and do something with that situation and do something positive. So I'll keep doing that for as long as I can.
You're kind of carrying on... You're kind of carrying on the message that Jo herself said before she was killed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, we were brought up, and I think a lot about mum and dad and, you know, how we were brought up to treat other people. And it's not complicated stuff. It's just about treating each other with respect, understanding, sometimes agreeing to disagree, you know, and actually just treating other people how you would wish to be treated. And that's what Jo did, and that's just what I do, and that's, you know, that's the message.
What was her phrase? To focus on what...
We have more in common than that which divides us. And I think, yeah, we have a lot of differences. And we don't agree on everything. Of course we don't. It would be unrealistic to think that we could. But actually, fundamentally, as human beings, we're all facing the same issues on a day-to-day basis. We've all got to feed our kids and pay our bills and manage our ridiculously busy lives and stuff. And let's focus on some of those things that we have in common, as well as all the things that we might have slightly different opinions on.
So it's actually more about... It's a lot about intolerance, isn't it? It's about people being totally intolerant of other people's views.
Yeah, I think it's about understanding each other.
Yeah.
I think it's about understanding each other.
And
accepting the differences, and, you know, and accepting that. But I think also finding a way... And actually, let's be clear, the vast majority of people are really, really good and want really good things for this country that I'm... You know, I'm so proud of this country that I live in, and Jo was. So, you know, we don't want to over-dramatise things, but actually we do seem to have reached a point now where the toxicity, the nastiness is just...
And I think that's a really interesting point. It's trying to get it into some sense of perspective and just know where we are, because, I mean, your piece that's on tonight, we're going to show a little clip here in a second, and we were lucky enough to have already seen it. And, you know, we'll see you here speaking to MPs about some of the abuse that they have had. But also what comes through are, as you say, the people who want to do good, you know, who are being positive, who are trying to bring communities together, and we don't want to forget.
No,
we don't want to forget them
and
put everything on. Interestingly, with Jess Phillips, that comment that she made there, this is well documented, isn't it? That a UKIP candidate had said he wouldn't even rape her, and that it was a joke. And we've been speaking earlier about, you know, Jo Brand's comment, and it is a joke. What's acceptable?
Oh, it's very difficult, isn't it? It's very difficult, and this is one of the things that I found through doing the documentary. You know, if something is illegal, there's a very clear line. But when we think about morality and how we speak to each other, who sets the moral compass of the nation? Who makes that decision? And are the rules the same for politicians as they are for comedians or for people in the public eye? And what about the rest of us? You know, so how do we set that tone? It's very hard for me to be objective about it because I'm so entrenched in it because of what's happened to us. But I think, you know, there's so many different factors. But the big thing for me really is personal responsibility. We've all got responsibility to think about the things that we say and the things that we do. And as you said, I think, Jane, about in context and in the climate as well. You know, the politician said to me, things have changed since Jo got killed. That you do have to think about things differently because in
a negative way.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Because there was a hope at the time that it would get better. I mean, I remember that very, very strongly. That, I mean, it was such a tragic incident, and the immediate conversation afterwards. Oh, we've got to get hold of ourselves here. This is just not acceptable. We're going to make it better. But it hasn't.
Oh, no, it was very short-lived, and you're right. At the time that people said all the right things and did all the right things.
Well, I think they also, what they're saying is that they, after Jo's death, suddenly felt more aware of their own safety, because you always say it's not going to happen to you.
And it did.
Like the gentleman you were interviewing, and he said he would go to his MP surgery on his own. And now he's had to rethink that.
And that's such a shame, because the reason they want to do the job, or the vast majority of these people, is they want to be with people, they want to help people. Jo wanted to listen to her constituents. She wanted to make a difference without having to think about her own safety. So it's...
When you hear what's happened to you, and, you know, it's so tragic, and I look at you and I think, Because a lot of the problems that we're talking about is about hate, this terrible hate and anger. So how are you now not driven by hate and you're driven by something very positive instead?
Well, again, I think a lot of that is from how we were brought up, and we were always brought up to try and focus on the positive and try and do something good. But you're absolutely right, and it's totally wrong to think that I'm not angry. I am extremely angry about what's happened to us. But what good will that do me if I channel that anger into being horrible to other people or into people I disagree with? There's no way of moving forward from that. So yes, I feel angry. I feel a sense of despair at times. But what I've chosen to do and what we've chosen to do is do something positive. So we do the great get-together around Jo's birthday. We say, look, let's focus on all the good things in our country. Because the people who are shouting the nasty stuff are shouting quite loud. Now, I don't want to shout, but I want to show that there is a different way.
And the great get-together is obviously you're encouraging everybody all over the country to have parties, to get their community together, to help raise funds, which is great. Yeah. I also wanted to ask you, obviously you were Jo's sister, or still are, your auntie Kim as well. So how are Jo's children?
Yeah, and that's my most important job. Jo's kids are doing extremely well. They are so full of life and energy, and they're so positive. And I don't have my own children, but you can't love someone any more than you do, for your own kids or for Jo's kids. But I think the difficult thing will be when they get to an age when they really understand what happened. Yeah. They understand as much as children of that age can. But we will be there for them. They're very lucky. They've got a wonderful family, and we will scoop them up and look after them.